today's collectible spot, we are having a look at the Mattel Hot Wheels Batman v Superman, the Batmobile. Spot's already had a look at the Batmobile from Hot Wheels, however, that was the standard released Batmobile. This is actually the collector's release. Somebody had indicated this in a previous review as well, that they seem to release a lot of the movie Hot Wheels generally in they've done it with the DeLoreans, and they also have done it with like the Ecto cars as well, that there's kind of more of a collector's release of these, and then there's just the standard release. We've already had a look at the standard release, which was on the blue back card. This card is a little bit more interesting. Also down below we've got a film reel. It has Batmobile on the top there. The Batman logo on the top there, which also was omitted from the standard release that we had a look at. I have to act fast because like the bubble card, I don't know if you can see it, is barely holding on. The other Batmobile Spot picked up from Toys R Us. I actually picked this one up on eBay, and I picked it up on eBay first, and then I ended up finding the other release in Toys R Us, so I picked that up. So ultimately I ended up getting both, and we'll see. We'll do a comparison between how this one differs from the first release that we had a look at. Anything on the back? Not really. Just says 2015 Mattel, all rights reserved, blah, 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 blah. For the adult collector, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. That's basically all it says. You don't really see a lot of advertising of Dawn of Justice. It generally just says Batman v Superman. They usually leave the Dawn of Justice part out. That's it. That's it for packaging. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up, although not much really is involved in getting this opened. When we come back, however, we're going to get a better look at the collector's release of the Hot Wheel Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Batmobile. Don't go anywhere, guys. There's more coming your way. Stay tuned. Okay, so now that we have the Batmobile out of packaging, I'm quite pleasantly surprised to find that there's a lot of difference between this and the original Batmobile that we had a look at. It's a smaller Batmobile, yes. It's one of the smallest Batmobiles that Hot Wheels has released from Batman video games, movies, and so on. It's really nice, though. I guess the thing is, the easiest way to kind of start looking at this is to bring in the original release. And there it is right there. Now, first glance, you'll notice that the main difference is in color. This Batmobile, the collector's edition Batmobile, is a little lighter in gray, whereas this one is more of a darker gray, almost borderline black. Some of the notable differences is also the tires. Well, let me also say too, this Batmobile is heavier than this one here. This one didn't feel very heavy. This one has a lot more extra weight to it, and I think a lot of it can be chalked up to the tires. The tires on the original retail or standard release Batmobile was plastic. In fact, you can see the plastic tires right there. Whereas the collector's edition has rubber tires. There's rubber tires on the actual Batmobile itself, which could chalk up to a lot of the extra weight that I'm experiencing versus this one here. In fact, body-wise, they're both metal. I think maybe most of the weight could probably again be chalked up to that one just simply has the rubber tires added, whereas the original standard release does not have the plastic tires. They've also gone in and done a whole bunch of extra panel lining to the collector's release of the Batmobile. So it's not only a lighter gray, but you can see that there's all these like panel lines and stuff like that that they've added just to pop some of the details on it, especially around the cockpit area and around the back wings. They've also colored that in. Back tail lights are also included, whereas this Batmobile sculpted the tail lights in, but they didn't actually paint it. The same thing can also be said that the front headlights have also been painted in orange, whereas the original did not have it. I say original, but you know, the original one that we had a look at on this channel. They've also painted or panel lined around the gun turret on the front. They've painted this extra little decal piece, which was on here, but it was looks more like it was sculpted in, whereas they've now painted it on the top there. A very considerable difference. Even the treads, well, not the treads, but the spokes inside the treads have a sculpt to them, whereas this one does not. This just has a regular Hot Wheels type of tire. They both roll. This one rolls just a little bit lighter, of course, because it's got plastic tires. This one rolls, just has a little more weight to it when it's rolling. I quite like this one, though. Just very interesting, because I really have not had a chance to pick up many instances where I have a standard, you know, toy store release one, and then more of the collector's ones. Like these collector's ones, we don't have here, or I've not seen a lot of them here in Canada. So again, I had to pick this one up on eBay, and though, you know, not much different sculpt-wise, it certainly is leaps and bounds for comparing it to the first one that we had a look at. I think I like this one certainly a lot more. I love also the rubber tires that they've also added here too. There you go, guys. There's the difference. Wasn't quite thinking that there was going to be as much of a difference as there was, but goes to show there was. There's a last glance there. Today's collectible spot, we were having a look at the Mattel Hot Wheels. We're looking at the collector's release of the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Batmobile. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more collectible spots heading your way. Thanks for watching. See you next time.